Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I am reviewing the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. This is a foundation that I've been wearing recently that you guys have been loving. I used this in my Valentine's Day makeup tutorial that I did last, and I posted a photo of me wearing this, not telling you guys what foundation this was, and you guys loved it. So I wanted to do a little bit of a review and demo for you guys, that way you guys know what this product is all about. So first things first, this is a Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. If you guys recognize this bottle, it is because it is a spin off the old HD foundation. This is the Ultra HD, so it's a little bit different. It's supposed to be better, and it does look different. It has the silver bar that didn't exist before. In terms of packaging, the cap now is so much better than it was before. I know this because when I first started off as a makeup artist, I bought a ton of these foundations for my clients. This was in my kit, but these caps or the cover would just keep breaking. It was awful. It would just fall off, and now it actually stays in there really well, so that's good. This is 1.01 fluid ounces, pretty normal for a foundation bottle, and it is $43. That is on the higher end. A lot of foundations are also in the 30s, but NARS and Makeup Forever tend to be in the $40 range, so again, very normal for Makeup Forever. The color range of this is amazing. Makeup Forever in general seems to be the company for me in terms of color. For sure, I use the Matte Velvet Plus. I'm a color 65, and that you guys already know, so I'm very familiar with that color range, and it's really, really good. Especially if you are darker skinned, like I would say medium to dark skin especially, you have a ton of options in this makeup company versus a lot of others. That being said, this is color 173, which in the normal HD foundation, that was really, really too dark for me. And in this, it's half a shade too dark. You guys can probably tell it's a tiny bit too dark, but it's not something that, to me, looks terrible. So this is the closest thing to me. I haven't checked to see if there's something half a shade lighter. There usually is not going to be one. Makeup Forever did send this to me, and I did ask them for a different one, but they never really got back to me on that one. So not sure if there is something underneath that. So also they have a new numbering system. On the back, they write the number, and they write it equals a different number. So it also equals Y445, which is their new naming system. In case you guys are unfamiliar with it, Y stands for yellow undertones. So this is a more yellow tone foundation than I'm used to, which is why I feel like it ends up looking a bit too dark on me. I feel that if the same color was in a neutral undertone, it would look the exact same color on me. I always find that with yellow tone foundations, I tend to look a little bit darker just because the undertone is different. That being said, let's get into the wear of this foundation. So as you guys know, I have extremely oily skin, so I do wear the MAC SPF 50 primer. I've been wearing this for 5 or 6 years now, and I wear that under every single foundation. With that, this foundation lasts me about 7 hours. It is a bit dewier than any other foundation that I generally ever wear, and as a result, it's not going to wear as long on my skin as a matte finish foundation. So all of you dry to normal skin to even oily and combination skin can wear this. I just would make sure you wear a primer that takes care of your dryness or your oiliness to make this work for you. Another thing about this is that this is a medium coverage foundation. I would never consider this full coverage, and as a result, it's very thin, and I end up using a lot of this foundation. So I, in general, don't use a ton of foundation ever. I feel like most girls wear a pump to 2 pumps on their face every day. I'm not that person. But in this foundation, there's no other way that I can do it. So a pump and a half is what I require for my face, and that's crazy to me, which makes me think that I will run through this bottle a lot faster, and I don't know how I feel about that, because generally I never use that much foundation. Also, I like to apply it with the MAC 130 brush. This is the thing that gives me the best application. I can do little round motions to really buff it into my skin, and then I do color correct my skin around my chin area. So there, I usually press it in like this. The Beauty Blender is good too, but I find that I end up using even more foundation, so that's why I don't choose to use that with this. I like to use the Beauty Blender with foundations that are very thick, and I want to get a sort of lighter coverage. So I find that that's the best way to use the Beauty Blender for me. Again, I find this to be a really good foundation in terms of how it looks. It looks very much like your skin. I can still see a sheen going through my skin even after I've powdered, because my this foundation has that inbuilt sort of sheen to it. It'll never look like a matte foundation, and it's not meant to. Without primer, I can't really wear this. I would say 3 or 4 hours is what I'll get looking decent. After that, it's completely like an oil slick face, so This is definitely a foundation that's geared more to normal skin people, I would say. The formula is really good though. It's a very comfortable wear. It doesn't feel like a lot of makeup on your skin, and it's just thinner, so it's buildable coverage, so I like all of that. So I am going to go ahead and show you guys how I put this on in case you guys did not see my Valentine's Day makeup tutorial, and that if you guys want to see how I did this, then please keep watching. So here I'm going to go ahead and start off with my colored corrector. This is by Ben Nye. It is the Coral Blush. If you guys don't have any discoloration problem, you're lucky and you can totally skip this step. If you do though, I'm just putting this on around my chin and mouth area. Next, I'm going to go ahead and shake up the foundation. You always want to do that. And that is 1 pump, and I can't believe I'm actually going to be using that whole amount. I'm going to go ahead and stipple that on with my MAC 130 brush. And by stipple, I really just put it on really thick in certain areas. And here you guys can see how it's like half a shade too dark for me. But also stippling it on really helps in the areas that you don't want to move a product underneath. So right here I have my colored corrector and I don't want to move that from underneath. So stippling it on is better than rubbing or buffing in those regions. Here I'm going to just go ahead and put it on to one side of my face because I want you guys to be able to see what the other side looks like. As you guys can see, the color match is pretty good for me and I do like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on the other side of my face, and this is what's left of that 1 pump. However, now that pump is over. So here I'm going to go ahead and I took out about half a pump more, and I'm using that for the other side of my face and just buffing it on the same way as I just showed you. And as you guys can see, if you don't want to take it all the way up to your forehead, you don't have to. I just did it for the purpose of this video. Then right here, that's what's left on my hand, so 1.5 pumps is what I needed with this foundation. Here's a zoomed in version so you guys can see what it looks like on my skin. It is very skin-like. I felt like it doesn't just sit on top of my skin like a lot of foundations do. And you guys can see it is medium coverage. I can see imperfections on my skin still, but it has done a good job of evening it out. Right here, I don't know what happened to my audio, so I'm going to go ahead and voice this over. I also want to let you guys know the really good thing about this foundation is that even though I am oily, this is not the best foundation for oily skin. It doesn't break up on my skin. I find that a lot of thicker foundations break up and move around my nose and mouth area, whereas this one didn't. So it is much lighter in order for that not to happen, and it has some oil in it itself to cause that not to happen. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media channels, as well as go to my blog post to see swatches of this product, as well as see stills from this video, so you guys can get a better idea of what this foundation looks like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!